Can you guess one of the most amazing inventions ever made? It beats the cost of buying fuel and can be submerged underwater for long periods. That's right, we are talking about nuclear-powered ships. Most people don't know they even exist, let alone what they do or how they work. In this video, we will give you a quick rundown of what these machines are all about compared to the paddles we see on boats. Most ships are propelled by a mechanical system that most often consists of an electric motor or, in some cases, internal combustion energy that drives a propeller. Over the years, technological advancement has evolved these mechanisms. Initially, the tools used were human-powered paddles, oars, and sails. These later developed into the marine steam engine or the two-stroke and four-stroke diesel engines, which finally transformed into the outboard motors and gas turbine engines made for faster ships. Since then, mechanisms have been further developed into electric motors powered by battery packs as seen in submarines and electric boats. Submarines usually rise to the surface when they require a brake to change their batteries. But with the invention of nuclear power, submarines can effectively run underwater for as long as each travel requires, which genuinely is the best type of submarine. Nuclear-powered submarines never have to go above the water the entire journey, allowing them to remain hidden for long periods. But that is not all. Sit tight because nuclear-powered ships have a lot more than meets the eye. A nuclear-powered ship is built with a nuclear power plant that provides energy to the propulsion system. In this kind of ship, heat is generated by the nuclear reactor via the nuclear fission of uranium, and this energy creates the propulsion needed to move the ship forward. These reactors are challenging to find and primarily used in naval warships such as submarines or supercarriers. It would be easy to understand why these are not your everyday ship, but one of the most spectacular things about nuclear-powered ships is that they are designed to free up a lot of space that a regular ship would not have because of its dependence on fuel. If we are to evaluate their speed, these ships can go about 50 times faster than the speed of standard ships as they produce a maximum speed of over 30 knots, 56 kilometers an hour, so what's not to like? Did you know that nuclear-powered ships do not need refueling? Due to advancements in technology, they now have a longer core lifespan. This means that the ships can be submerged for over 10 years. It's like an underwater ninja. Engineers have designed the core to allow the carrier ships to stay afloat over the water for over 50 years and approximately 30 to 40 years for submarines. They are also designed to provide rapid power level changes for propulsion needs, ensuring propulsion continuity and longer operational lifetimes. Current naval reactor cores are designed so aircraft carriers are refueled once in the ship's life, and submarines never have to be refueled. Isn't that a real catch? Perhaps you feel the same way about this channel. If you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss more videos like this. Although these are many advantages, nuclear-powered ships come with their own set of problems. Since they do not use fuel to operate, they require a very high operating cost and infrastructure investment. It makes sense why these ships are not a hot commodity and are only found with the military. With great power comes great responsibility. These nuclear-powered ships are mighty, so it is normal to wonder about their safety. We understand that when people hear the word nuclear, it makes people gasp. There is an element of fear and uncertainty associated with it because of its controversial history. However, the nuclear-powered ship has been deemed safe. They have been operating for decades without making the headlines with news of reactor accidents or radioactive damage to humans or sea life. It is also safe for the environment as there is no release of harmful gases such as CO2, NO2, and other particulates. Truth be told, the nuclear-powered ship was originally designed for the Navy, and it was built to survive wartime attacks and fight while protecting crew members. If we compare naval reactor plant designs to commercial reactors, they are superior and made to function safely during combat and even more safely during peacetime operations. To the crew's good fortune, there are about 4 barriers inside the ship that work hand in hand to ensure that radioactivity is contained if something malfunctions, which is quite unlikely. The ship also has the strength to withstand about 50 times the force of gravity. Now you may wonder why the ships are not widely broadcasted if they are this phenomenal. The The answer to that is straightforward. Nuclear-powered ships are not mentioned anywhere and everywhere because people need help accepting any form of technology that is associated with nuclear power. Throughout history, nuclear power has been linked to disastrous events that have long-lasting effects, and this sole reason is enough to discourage people. The people's fears are well-founded, as any mishap with nuclear power can cause severe casualties. There has not been any form of explosion since nuclear-powered ships were created, and they continue to be used in the navies of many countries. But there's still more. The bodies responsible for radiation protection are aware of the potential damage a nuclear-powered ship can create if something were to go wrong. However, they have still considered it safe and added some necessary guidelines. It has been stated that humans should not be exposed to too much radiation, quantified as REM, and humans should not be exposed to more than 5 REM per year. As a result, the reactors have been designed to be located far away from the crew. In a journey of about 4 months, the goal was to prevent the crew's exposure to radiation and maintain it below half REM. Crew members are carefully monitored to ensure that their health is not impacted by exposure to more than 5 REM per year. Considering a nuclear-powered ship can last so much longer in or on water, what would life be like on these types of ships compared to normal ones? Ships have historically been constructed to protect themselves from pirates and other attackers. The method of protection was to use non-lethal weapons that ensured passengers on board were kept safe throughout their journey. But nuclear-powered ships are a step above, as they protect from different forms of attacks and pressure while still being capable of retaliating. Life in a nuclear-powered ship is simple since passengers and crew members have learned to understand the dynamic of their situation. The nuclear reactor takes up about 1/3 of the ship, leaving the remaining space for the others. And in most cases, they are submerged in water. There is no difference between day and night. All they require is the presence of regular breakfast, lunch, and dinner. When compared to living on a standard Navy ship, there is more structure to how their day goes. They have time for scheduled classes and even for exercises. There is also the option of playing games on board as long as they are brought into the ship before it sets out to sea. In a regular ship, there are usually about 300 to 400 crew members depending on the type of ship and size, but a nuclear-powered ship has about 134 crew members divided into 3 groups. The smaller crew is because of the presence of the nuclear reactor, which means the people that operate the ship must be more skilled, so the crew members are carefully selected. The nuclear-powered ship aims to ensure the safety of all passengers and crew while submerging underwater for months. We know you love vehicles, but if vehicles that have anything to do with water fascinate you, then you are in the right place. Subscribe to the channel to discover more about submarines, ships, and other aquatic machines.